5,240 pounds and seen here today in snazzy Black Label upgraded edition. We have a Grey Wolf 22RR here at HAYLETT RV. The Black Label package that we're going to see really dresses up the exterior, touches the interior a little bit. Plus, we've added a few upgrades to this. We like to kind of build these a couple ways, so you can have something that's a little shinier or a little more conventional. Black Label edition that we're looking at adds a little bit of weight, adds a little bit of cost, but adds a lot to the curb factor of this thing. It looks fantastic. The flexibility of a model like this is pretty much unparalleled. Now, we've got a little bit of inclement weather today. It's kind of raining a little bit outside, so I had to close the ramp door. We're going to get to see it with the ramp open later, hopefully, provided the weather cooperates. But in a way, it's kind of a neat opportunity. It sort of drives home the fact that this is more than just a toy hauler. Like, if you ignore the fact that it has that ramp door, if you ignore the fact that it has the word toy hauler in the name of it or whatever, it's just a neat couples camper. You have this massive rear dining lounge area. You see that that table's free floating, so if you want to move it around or even get it out of the way, you can do that. The cross breeze windows across the rear wall are always a welcome touch as well. But the thing is, you know, this turns into, it converts from a 6-person seating area into a either big kid or even multiple adult capable sleeping space. Going along with this, the RV also has pull-down pleated nightshades for all the windows here in the living area. Obviously, I don't have those open currently. Another question people ask me sometimes on this is, what is that kind of vertical rectangle with that line over there? What is that? That's a two-way air vent. So, you know, you can use this as a toy hauler. If you have any sort of exhausted into the RV as you're loading your bike or ATV or whatever, you want to be able to get that aired out before you get to your destination. That's what those vents are for. Personally, I think this is a little smarter way to utilize the sleeper function on the dinette if you have any need for it. Here's the reason I say that. That big giant table that we saw, that is what is underneath the two kind of hump puffy cushions right there. There's not a whole lot of support under it. Now, if you're sleeping across the way that I showed you a second ago, you're okay because your weight's distributed across the whole thing. But you don't want to sleep on it just vertically like this. But here's the thing. These side benches, they have full support under them all the time. So you've got a pair of big adult-sized sleeping spaces here. Or if you've got big kids or grandkids or guests or whatever, it's easier, frankly. You just move the cushion. You don't even have to put the table down. You just take this little wedge cushion, move it off the back, and blammo, there you go. You got a handy little sleeper space. So it's easy to have one or two without really having to wrestle anything around the trailer. It's simple and easy that way. The other thing this opens up the opportunity for is what I like to call buddy camping, because now we've got that like clear definition. That's your bed, that's my bed. We're not sharing a bed space, and some people get weirded out by that. To each their own. But at the end of the day, it is technically a toy hauler. We have a ramp door, we have a garage. Those benches fold up out of the way and create this wide open loading space. Now, everyone wants to know what's the measurement from here to there to everywhere. There's a million, billion, jillion different measurements that you could potentially capture on this. On our website, we include a floor plan schematic of this RV showing you the general length dimensions. If you need anything else specifically, please contact our team at HAYLETT RV. The guys and gal up in sales, they can run out, hand measure anything you want, and make sure that basically measure twice and buy once can be accomplished effectively. But once again, as soon as we get past that rear kind of flex space, if you will, the cargo, dining, lounge, garage, bed, bunk, guest space, whatever you want to call it, we're back in couples camper land. And that's what's cool about these. You know, it doesn't have that motocross kind of feel. Not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just that this appeals to a different kind of segment. Your TV hookups would be right here should you choose to add a screen. There's also matching outside TV hookups in the bracketry that comes with that. Is that a word, bracketry? It is now. I don't care. I just coined a phrase if it didn't already exist. And that would be directly across from one of the benches back here. So, you know, easy entertainment viewing. These are all central air conditioning as well, which is an important thing to mention because not all of the crossover campers like this one have that feature. There are quite a few that actually lack that. But what's nice here is this thing has just an absolutely awesome kitchen. It starts over there with that floor-to-ceiling pantry, and its placement's genius because it's actually located above the wheel well, which is the little hump that's inside of there. And you know, you don't really lose anything as a result, but instead you get this big, you know, dry pantry space. And you also have the new, larger 10.7 cubic foot, 12 volt refrigerator. This is a compressor fridge. They cool down exceptionally quickly. They're very traveling friendly. Also, you combine that with the Juice Pack solar option, which is something that we're starting to include across the board on all Cherokee group products here at HAYLETT RV. And you've got something that is very off-grid friendly. Down below, you can tell, just even without getting on the roof, you're like, how do I know if mine has a solar package? There's that battery volt monitor and the disconnect right there. Those two things go hand in hand with the solar package. It's all one inclusive grouping there. Now back over here into the kitchen area. The Black Label Edition will upgrade us here from sealed edge thermal foil counters to a solid surface. And a little neat detail, you actually get a split sink cover versus just a one-piece sink cover. Some people like one, some like the other, so I guess in a way you kind of got your choice on which way you go. If you put those sink covers back on that black stainless farm sink with that high-rise sprayer faucet, which just looks so modern, so good, it gives you good prep space in a small camper that otherwise wouldn't have much. You do have wastebasket space down here below the sink, and I like the double big drawers as opposed to 2 or 3 small ones. It's a lot more like spatula friendly, you know. Now over here in the kitchen area, they also, they originally called it the Cherokee Super Kitchen, though I haven't heard them use that name for about 2 seasons now. I'm getting old in the camper business, I think. You see that it is just, it's loaded with lights, so you can actually see what you're doing. And the skylight up there has a little sunshade as well, so you're not going to be, you know, cooked alive from the brains down like an ant under a magnifying glass. Now from there, something very neat has been added to the Cherokee family of campers. As we approach the bathroom, which first of all, it's neat that the bathroom's by the door, and the bedroom is, you know, good for quick, easy access. It's got dual entry doors. But they've also added something like, it feels like it came out of the Starship Enterprise. When you walk in here, this camper has automatic lighting. I didn't click a light switch. I'm nowhere, there is no light switch. It's this little job over here. There's a little motion sensor that has its own lights, and that will kick on anytime you come in here. So if you wake up at night, you need to get into the bathroom, you don't want to go reaching around, clicking around, or if you've got a little kid with you who can't reach the ceiling light, they don't have to. It's still enough light you can see what you're doing. Now, you could turn that light off individually if you wanted to, but in about 60 seconds and no movement, it'll turn itself off anyway. They still have that Max Air vent fan. That'll be found at no matter if it's standard, Black Label, whatever, and that thing is awesome for giving you just fantastic airflow through the RV, which is one of the reasons why the bedroom and bathroom door tops are slotted to allow for air exchange. It can suck the hot air out of the bedroom and exhaust it, then bring fresh, cooler air in through the side breeze windows. That extra large vanity, and you see a big radius shower here, and the shower surround paneling for that goes all the way up to the ceiling. They really dress up their bathrooms nicely. Plenty of space in here to actually get dressed. Plenty of legroom in front of that foot flush toilet. And that's a just massive sink here so that adult-sized hands can actually fit into this thing, which is cool. It's made for more than just the kiddos. From here, you can see we obviously have a very private front bed space. Swing that door open. And is it the biggest bedroom? No, but it's a normal bedroom. You know, it's a normal walk-around bed, and that's kind of where it's a little bit more like a traditional travel trailer than the history of toy haulers. Though thankfully, toy haulers have largely begun to adopt this bedroom arrangement. You've got household and USB plugs on both sides of the bed, which is really nice, and the USB plugs are 12-volt powered. Like, I'm just running on the solar power from the Juice Pack system right now, and you can see actually the lights and everything, that's the factory package that's running that. I don't have my own battery or anything hooked up to this. XL viewing window over here on the camp side of the RV. I love the little accent wall up there above the headboard. Like the whole color contrast, the package in here is very aesthetically pleasing. That USB hub over there, by the way, doubles as a Bluetooth speaker mount and charger for a specific Furrion speaker that is not included with the camper. And just like we saw in the living room, and like we will see outside, a handy outside TV bracket right here directly across from the bed should you choose to add a TV to your Cherokee RV from HAYLETT RV. Now it's very obvious as we step outside when you're looking at a Black Label Cherokee product that high gloss exterior fiberglass. You know, it's very telling to see which one you're looking at, not to mention the fact that the graphics say Black Label on it. It's not really a secret. Here's an interesting thing though. The front nose on this is still that painted aluminum sweep that you find on all the Cherokee products, and that's actually a very good thing because, you know, this will resist oxidation. It's very thick. It's actually 67% thicker than conventional corrugated sidewall aluminum, and, you know, the whole thing is kind of like, you know, wind buffeting and whatnot. Now, I'm sort of weaving between trailers today because we've been getting bombarded with new arrivals with our volume here at HAYLETT RV, and we've got them packed and stacked in here. So the Black Label package also gives us frameless windows and magnet holdbacks on our baggage doors, as you may have noticed on the other side of the RV. You'll always have a power awning, a power tongue jack, and all Grey Wolves ride on a custom engineered chassis, which is very cool for a couple reasons, especially considering this thing's propensity to be used as a crossover toy hauler. Long story short, you see how that tongue integrates into the frame rails, the I-beam. Well, that brings the whole body of the RV down. The whole thing rides lower. Now, it doesn't have any sort of like sewer hookup clearance problems or anything like that. But what it does is a lower center of towing gravity, lower exterior height while giving it a normal interior height. It also lowers the loading height of the ramp area. So you don't have quite a aggressive incline and angle of attack when you're loading. Our courtesy dump station over here has this handy light, and that is really cool because it's a nice bright white LED light, but it's on a separate switch from everything else, so it's only on when you need it. So if you're in a park, you're not going to bug the neighbors. Light complaints are actually the #1 thing at campgrounds, so this will help avoid that. Black tank flush, outside shower, all of our hookups in one spot, although the electrical hookup is down here away from the water stuff. Good looking aluminum wheels, and on the valve stems you have little tire pressure indicator caps. If those flip from green to red, at a glance you know without even messing with anything else that the RV needs air in the tires. Now, this is not related specifically to the Black Label package. You can get this separate on any Grey Wolf, but on the Black Label versions, we do like to put power stabilizer jacks on these, and no matter what jacks you get, right in front of it, you see that handy little sewer hose tote right there. Now, I will pull the ramp door down in a minute. It's kind of drizzling on and off. We've got a little break in the weather, so I will be able to drop the door. But it is neat that it's up, so you can see that these have locking latches, as opposed to, like, you don't have to have a padlock for security on this thing. It has its own conventional key lock system, and even if you don't key lock those, they have you know, like self-grasping cam bars, basically, so that they don't want to pop open in transit and cause you issues. And not only was Grey Wolf the first of what I call these crossover toy hauler campers, and what I mean by that, it's not extra wide, it's not extra tall, it's not extra heavy or expensive. They were also the first to include a ramp patio availability on these, and it just kind of, it changed everything for a lot of people, especially on a smaller model like this with that rear kind of dining lounge area and that free floating table. It dramatically opens up the potential living space that you have here, especially if it's not a day where you're going to be running the AC full time. If it's a day where you know, you might just have some fans or you just want some open air, you got all that here. Now that does have a roll down tent screen wall, so if you want to, you can get some fresh air blown without the bugs getting in, which is always a nice thing. Back here on the rear corner, a couple things you notice: all LED tail and marker lights, and the handy little pet leash latch, which is also very handy for keeping like bikes or kayaks or lawn chairs from wandering off of your campsite of their own volition. The power awning over here, easy tilt with LED lighting below, plus you have backlit speakers on either side of this outdoor TV hookup. Additionally, Black Label Edition gives us this larger, more aggressive floodlight over here to kind of cast a little bit more light on your patio area, separate from the patio awning lighting. There we go. Anti-slam entry door, and good look at those tinted frameless windows right there. And all Grey Wolves will have the stable step entry system here, and I feel like, oh yeah, I'm missing everything in that front compartment. I kind of glossed over that a little bit, didn't I? So up here, you've got that magnet holdback that we talked about earlier, and you've got a solar prep plug, so that if you want to get in here, and notice how these are all sealed protected hinges, you've got plenty of space to be able to keep, you know, grills, griddles, cargos, solar panels, whatever. And grills and griddles, this is a good place to talk about those, because wouldn't you know it, they have the handy little gas grill quick connect right up front here, so you can do some cooking outside of the RV to keep the heat out of the camper and keep the smoke out from under the awning. It's not an accident that Cherokee has become one of the very best selling things out there, and depending on how you boil down the numbers, Cherokee as an organization is actually the most popular thing in the RV industry right now. These Grey Wolves, they're a huge part of that. I think they're actually one of the largest segments, pieces of that pie, and for good reason. This is what I call a high value camper. It's a smarter class camper where it does all the things that really matter. You're just doing it at less weight and cost. Now, we've jazzed this one up with some features and stuff, but you can get it in a more basic edition. And I'd always like to know, what do you guys like? Do you like fancy? Do you like simple? Do you like in between? You know, I'm always open to feedback, so we can always have the right product for you here at HAYLETT RV of Coldwater, Michigan. And whether it's hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything between, give us a call, because we do it all with the exception of hidden dealer fees. Sorry for the convenience. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.